Hi friends, my name is Trisha, and on my art channel, I share my creative journey using different art mediums. You'll find process videos, whether it's oil on canvas, watercolors, oil pastels, and more, and I also do art haul reviews. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So this video is a result of a community poll that I had done recently, and I had requested your help to decide the topic of my next video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my process of how I create miniature vibrant art using Neocolor II. An important thing to note is you do not have to have Neocolor II for this particular process. You can use any other similar format like wax crayons, oil pastels, and they don't have to be water soluble. In fact, some of the little artworks that I've done, I've not even activated Neocolor II with water. So with that little introduction, I hope you're excited. Let's jump right in. The idea was to create a series of breakfast in cafes as a subject, and I started to create these little artworks. Let me bring out the Caran d'Ache sets that I already have, which are the warm palette, the cool palette, and the extended primary palette. I have created other videos using Neocolor II, and there'll be a link to those in the description box below and should appear in the screen above. So for example, in this little fruit basket, the color of the apples are cooler red, and I basically used scarlet and purple to create that tone. And to complement that, the background is basically light blue from the cool palette of Neocolor II. The concept I'm trying to follow for each of this is basically to choose a dominant complementary color for the background. For example, in this, the apples are definitely warmer, and hence I chose a cooler bluish green for the background, and I think this is turquoise green from the cool palette again. In this eggs in a pan composition, I've used Prussian blue as the dominant color of the pan, lightening it up with white in a few places and some light blue. And to complement this dark, deep blue, I used something like a golden orange or yellow gold orange, which is called orangish yellow for the background. So just to summarize, I'm trying to pick a complementary color for the background for the subject to basically pop as best as possible, and I'm developing this little series of the subject of breakfast in cafes. Where I began on this little composition was a different concept. I wanted smaller avocados and an avocado on toast in the middle, but then I realized that for such tiny artworks it's best to just draw one subject clearly and let that shine. So I'm left with a little bit of the color pencils marks that are showing through, but doesn't matter. Out of these compositions, I had activated Neocolor II with water in some of them. For example, this avocados one, as well as strawberries and this pancakes one. And the rest are not activated with water, and they're just Neocolor II on paper without any water activation. Now coming to the paper that I've been using, so this is a hot press 300 GSM watercolor paper, and I love the feel of Neocolor II on smooth paper as against rough or textured cold pressed paper. I'm using the loose sheets from Brustro, which are A4, and I love the quality of the hot press paper that they provide. And I've just cut the A4 size paper into 6 almost equal squares, and I'm using those for my artwork series. Now Now let's paint this little mocha pot as best as we can. I'll first sketch this out using a light brown color pencil from Camlin, and the picture of the mocha pot is going to be pinned on this frame on the top left, so you can paint along or just sit back and enjoy the video. I always like to start with the lightest color possible. I'm going to layer the scarlet red on top of this orange. It's called flame red. Just using violet to deepen this red. this is more or less complete. So I just added a little bit of the white Posca marker to create some highlights and accents in this little figure. And that's really it. I'm also going to think of ways in which I can utilize these, for example, as prints or merchandise, like stickers or little postcards to give to my friends who run a local cafe here, and that should be fun. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this little video as much as I loved creating it. And as promised in the community post, I'll be back soon with another video on how to utilize a limited palette using watercolors. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, happy painting!